I want nothing to do with this person. I've repeatedly let them know that I want nothing to do with them, and yet they persist.
You're right, it is pathetic, and here's why, Greg.
Tons of videos where he judges and criticizes other people. Yet if any dissent comes his way, he can't handle it.
Hey guys, yet again, for some reason, I'm being called a apologist. I want nothing to do with this guy. I don't want to see his face again. I don't want to hear his name again. I want nothing to do with him.
Called me a scumbag and a bunch of other things. I don't care what he calls me, it doesn't bother me a bit.
You are truly a psycho creep.
This video that Oniisan has made is full of so much nuclear fail that it could compete with Chernobyl and fucking win.
You.
Before we start the video, I have added filters to the footage of Mr. Onion. The video unfiltered with the no-no words uncensored will be up on BitChute the day after the upload to YouTube, and the link will be in the description. Oniisan is copyright claiming everything he can, and it has been negatively affecting my videos and channel. So if you like in-depth lore, please consider supporting me and my channel. Since this video will most likely be demonetized, you can help me continue to produce content by either becoming a Patreon or checking out my Teespring, linked below. Let's continue to the video. Hello my friends. This is part 4 in a series documenting the man who goes online by the name of Oniisan. I'll give you a quick recap. In part 1, we went over the beginning of his YouTube career and his divorce from his wife, Sky. In part 2, we looked into Oniisan's relationship with a music artist by the name of Shiloh. And in part 3, we looked into the backlash of Greg's past relationships and him acquiring a spouse. In this part, we look into his activity in the year of 2013. Much like the year 2012 in part 3, Greg was on a constant damage control. Unlike other YouTubers who made mistakes and moved on and improved themselves, Greg spent this next year trying to defend his past horrible behavior, shame his ex-lovers and friends, and defend himself from meanie reaction channels. What interests me the most about this year is Greg could have continued doing comedy sketches and just ignored detractors. Most of his videos during this time received mostly positive reception, but despite this, he would continue to get mad that a select group of people did not like him. I do not like playing armchair psychologist, but this definition from the Mayo Clinic interested me in kind of a theme for this year. So they define narcissistic personality disorder as one of the several types of personality disorders. It's a mental condition in which people have an inflated sense of their own importance, a deep need for excessive attention and admiration, troubled relationships, and a lack of empathy for others. But behind this mask of extreme confidence lies a fragile self-esteem that's vulnerable to the slightest criticism. I, again, am not a doctor, and I cannot diagnose someone, but I can view patterns, and the pattern of fragile self-esteem that's vulnerable to the slightest criticism defines Oniisan's pattern for the next year. Continue with caution. We are now in the year 2013. Greg's reputation has been crashing and burning in the public eye, but at this point, he is still a successful YouTuber. He is now back in Washington State with his barely legal spouse, who at this time is publicly known as Lanybot. We begin this year with, of course, the first month, January. We are mostly reviewing Mr. Onion's actions in this series, but January marks when Lanybot, at this time 18, began talking to a then underage Regina romantically through Skype. I mentioned they began talking over Instagram the previous year, but it went into a sexual territory. On or around the 4th of January, according to the Oniisan drama Tumblr, Greg accused Shane Dawson, an ex-friend he had severed ties with within the previous year, of being a fraud. User Don't Stand So Close to Me made a video on it, though the link on the Tumblr is gone as Don't Stand So Close to Me got booted from the platform. Next, on the 6th of January, Greg uploaded 2 videos. The first was titled Oniisan Needs Mental Help, which he uploaded to his Oniisan Speaks channel, and the second was titled Online Haters, 10 Things I Hate About Jerks Online, which he uploaded to his Oniisan channel. The first video, Oniisan Needs Mental Help, is an extension of what Oniisan had been trying to do the previous year, damage control. In it, Greg addresses negative questions directed at him.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do today is respond to one of the many people who think that they're my hero and that they're gonna save me from my own mental disorder. Well, of course, while stroking their own ego.
He also responds to claims of his abuse to his exes.
The need to constantly use and abuse young girls is part of a very strange codependency problem. Okay, hold on. You said you didn't dislike me, but now you're saying that I use and abuse young girls. How could you, be cool with someone like that?
My favorite part in the video, after spending over 2 years publicly attacking his exes, Greg maintains that he is in fact the true victim.
Oh, and to actually confront what you said, I don't use and abuse young girls. If anything, I was abused. What with all the lying, and the cheating, and the getting pregnant with other people's babies, and the stealing thousands of my dollars, do you not pay attention? Oh yeah, and all the irrefutable proof of my story being true.
He continues in this video to attack his exes.
Okay, have you talked to any of the people that I've dated who aren't pathological liars / thieves / cheaters? Or just liars because I've been lied to so much?
All of them at this point have left the internet due to his constant public attacks. He concluded the video by claiming everyone who knows him in real life thinks he's totally fine.
That's just the thing. You see, I have like 30 family members and tons of people who know me personally, and none of them have tried to give me an intervention. Nor have any of them been saying my behavior is out of control or that I'm doing something entirely irrational. So are you saying that you know me better than my family members and friends and so forth? One thing I hope everyone gets out of this video is that you shouldn't assume you know someone better than the people who actually know them. So again, the people in my real life are familiar with my online life and familiar with my offline life, and they accept me for who I am. They don't imply I'm a sociopath like so many people online do. They don't imply I'm a narcissist like so many people online do. They're realistic and kind.
Yeah, like Shane Dawson, D Fizzy, Seer. If you recall in part 3, Oniisan had public fallouts with all 3 of them. He finishes the video by saying,
So next time any of you lashes out at someone else online, first ask yourself if there's something going wrong in your own life that is causing you to focus on someone else's problems rather than your own. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Booby squeeze.
The next video, the one titled Online Haters, 10 Things I Hate About Jerks Online, marks a beginning, to my knowledge, of a content style of Greg's. This is the 10-thing countdown Oniisan still uses to this day, despite it not being a successful video style in current year. In the video, he has his characters Emo Charlie, Rod Danger, and Dale. He uses the character of Emo Charlie as a sort of way to voice his own opinions, while he uses the character Rod Danger to represent those who criticize him.
They clearly have nothing better to do than hate.
Wait, Rod? I'm hating on Emo Charlie. Leave me alone!
Have you ever considered getting a job or going to college or something?
God, I hate you, Don! Leave me alone!
You are just the worst.
I just want to note that Rod Danger is like a hermaphrodite or something, and Greg uses this character often as a straw man in his sketch videos, as a representative of those who dislike him.
Votes against gay rights is an unforgivable jerk.
Oh, really, Charlie? You're only saying that because you're gay.
Actually, I have sex with a beautiful pale goth girl on a regular basis, and my butthole is 100% virgin.
Oh, okay, so now you're saying that you're better than me.
I'm not going to go through the whole 10 things list, but Emo Charlie is obviously a projection of his own point of view, while he uses Rod Danger as a straw man, who he portrays as unlikable and unstable. Following this, Greg emails Alicia, the sister of his ex-wife, the one he divorced in 2010, on the 9th of January. If you have watched the other parts, he has been emailing her nonstop for, 3 years now? With no response from Alicia. In the email, he asked if she would like to join him on the prank tour, which is something that Taylor, aka Lanybot, had referenced the previous year in text with their friend. Alicia doesn't respond. Greg then posted another 10 Things video, this one being 10 Things I Love About Hipsters, on the same day as this email. It reached 2 million views, and the previous one reached 1 million views. The original positive reception would inspire Greg to continue this style of video to this day. This video had less of Oniisan trying to perform damage control for his criticism, but like the previous one, he used his character Rod Danger as a straw man for ridicule. It's not that interesting. Moving on. In the previous part, I detailed Oniisan and his friend, Sears, falling out, but towards the end of 2012, they seemed to be friends again. Despite this, on the 12th, Sear tweeted something positive to Greg. Sear wrote, "At Oniisan, make loveth to me on Twitter publicly," which Greg then responded negatively to. Despite them making a video together at the end of the previous year, Greg wrote, "At Sear, you always fuck me over and still receive public support. I'm not forgiving you this time, Sear. Seriously, just go fuck yourself." We found out what happened on the 13th of the month, when YouTuber and longtime thorn in Oniisan's side, Mr. Repsion, posted a response to a video that Oniisan had uploaded on the 11th, titled YouTube Egos. In it, Repsion tells viewers that in Greg's video, Oniisan was indirectly talking Sear for not hanging out with him in lieu of going to meet up with his fans.
People who don't think so highly of themselves will probably just be like, oh my god, fan, I'm so freaking lucky. Why is this person even into me? I'm not that cool. So you're just grateful and honored that somebody gives a crap.
I thought it was really interesting that you brought this point up about friends and subscribers and people, mainly because I know exactly what you're referring to. And this is what I really don't like about you, Greg Oniisan, is the fact that you indirectly talk about certain things which try to create drama, but if it's not creating drama, you're just trying to get fights with people. More specifically, the event that's going on right now with the YouTuber known as Seer, who's having a meetup with his fans. And you're friends with Seer, or were friends with Seer. I don't really know. I know you guys have been in videos together, but I don't really know your current friendship status. But you tweeted him earlier telling him to shut the f up and that you're really done with him, that you want nothing to do with him. And this was all due to him having a fan meetup, and you contacted him and saying that you're going to be coming to LA, and when he told you that he can't hang out at this certain time because he's having a fan meetup which was scheduled in advance to meet his subscribers, you go on a pissy fit that Seer chose his subscribers, his fan base, over hanging out with you.
Next, I am going to admit to listeners, I have attempted to watch every upload Oniisan makes during each year, but it's overwhelming. So I rely on the Life of Onion wiki, the Google Doc timeline, and the Oniisan drama Tumblr. And on the 13th, a post details an anonymous user being disgusted by Greg's continuous speaking on self-harm. The post reads, Oniisan's stance on self-harm is greatly disturbing. He went out of control posting over 4 statuses about how they're attention-seeking, and so on. It's disgusting, and he has no idea about self-harm and needs to keep those damaging, untrue statements to himself. I have admired Oniisan for a long time, but this was definitely it for me, the last straw. Not to mention all the statuses about circumcision on his Speaks Facebook page. Just needed someone to rant to because all of his fans are brainwashed. Next on the timeline, Greg collabed in a now unlisted video with a YouTuber named Outback Zach on January 14th. The two previously had beef due to Outback Zach pairing Oniisan's I'm a Banana song with a rendition called I'm a Meat Eater back in like 2012? 11? 11. It was 11. After that, I'm just gonna give a little recap. They ended up speaking at VidCon, and Greg talked about his dislike for Outback Zach in a live show later in his career. Now, probably to help their careers, they tried to do the prank tour together. Yeah, I don't. Okay, Greg. Anyways, the unlisted video was titled New Prank Series. Feat. Steve Cardinal, Oniisan, and many more. And in this video, we learned what the prank tour entailed.
Now this is going to be an entirely new web series called Prank Tour. And Prank Tour will be hosted on its own website, pranktour.com. Now, because of the large amount of money being funded into this project to pay for the pranks, the locations, the crew, the equipment, for us YouTubers, you gotta fly us out, you gotta house us, you gotta feed us. So there's a lot of money being spent into the project. And because of that, they want to charge you per episode, $1.99. Our first episode takes place in Los Angeles. We're going to film from January 18th to the 20th. So if you pre-order now, you'll be entered for a chance to hang out with me, Oniisan, Steve Cardinal, Make Me Bad 35, the guys behind Freaky the Scary Snowman, and many, many, many other funny YouTubers that you may know, you may not know. So guys, I want you to give this a chance. This is something new, and we're doing this for you because we want to be able to give you more than what we can do by ourselves.
This will result in another case of Mr. Grease burning bridges with content creators. Then, on the 15th of January, Greg announced a new FAQ page on his OniisanSpeaks.com website. He announced it in a blog titled, New FAQ Page. This will be one of many pages Greg uses as a means to justify himself during the course of this year. The previous year had a theme of damage control and jealousy, but this year mostly focuses on damage control and trying to silence criticism. More evidence of the shady acts of LaineyBot comes on the 16th of January. The tweets I'm about to go over occur between the 16th and the 18th. Lainey tweets Regina about their hot Skype session. Lainey would also tweet that they just took a Snapchat for them. According to Regina, at one point during these Skype calls, Lainey would appear topless on camera. Again, Regina is underage during this time. Then, on the 19th of January, Greg uploaded a video titled Prank Delivery, and considering there was a crew that I have not ever seen with Greg before or after this video, I assume it's part of the prank tour. It was also very different in tone from any other Oniisan video I have witnessed. In the video, the crew got delivery guys to show up and then they quote-unquote prank them in various, in my opinion, unfunny ways. Like all of Greg's professional relationships, the ones he acquired due to the prank tour would not end in a positive note. The next day, Greg uploaded a video titled What Parents Want to his Oniisan Speaks channel. This video is another example of Greg blaming and guilting his audience when they ask for help.
Okie dokie, let's go ahead and read this topic called My Parents Are Insane. So lately my parents have been threatening to send me to a mental hospital based on my odd behavior. Little do they know my behavior is due to the fact that I'm terrified of them. Not speaking with them, being secretive, grumpy, not eating, recent changes in life views. In all honesty, I've just stopped caring about almost everything. Okay, hold up, if you stop caring about almost everything, that's probably more of your personal problem than anything based on what they've done. How different people change depends on how much they allow others to affect them. My question to you is, how is that productive when what you're doing is a response to something that specific individuals have done, not what everyone has done?
In the video, he also makes assumptions about others' home lives.
What parents really want from their kids is for them to be healthy, happy, and forward-moving. That means when they look at you, they want to see a person who's going to be a contribution to society someday. A lot of times parents will try to give you tough love, which their kids often perceive as them just being rejected. But again, I am speaking of the parents that I'm familiar with.
He also gave some advice he could take for himself.
So if they ask you to do chores, sometimes it's just better to shut up and do it. If they want to argue about your dietary choices, your religious choices, etc., instead maybe just avoid disrespecting their beliefs and ask them to respect yours.
Then after this, Greg, on that same day, posted a blog titled, Last Night Was the Most Stressful in Months. In this blog, Greg detailed that an unnamed drunk person yelled and cursed at him. From the details he gave in the blog, it was obvious it was Outback Zach. You know, the guy from the prank tour? This turned out to be fake news, and it had to do with a deleted video that was part of the prank tour called Zach Assaulted Me. According to the Wayback Machine, the Zach Assaulted Me video was uploaded to Greg's channel on the 22nd. It was a joke and not serious in any way to my knowledge, but the day after this video, Greg went to his blog again and wrote an entry titled, My Thoughts on the Prank Tour. He mostly used the blog to complain about everything he thought was wrong with the production of the prank tour, and also to thank the new friends he made. The problems he had with the prank tour included that he mostly stood around waiting and that the prank tour team told them what to do. Which, being Greg, he always, of course, knows better. He detailed his annoyances, but said he hopes it improves in the future, and said nice words to those he worked with, and even thanked the staff for being polite. It wasn't really all that negative. But methinks something happened behind the scenes, because according to the Life of Onion wiki, Greg was the only member removed from the pranksters list on the official Prank Tour channel. The next interesting piece in the Oniisan timeline is another blog Greg posted on the 26th of January titled, At All Remaining Oniisan Haters. It was a short blog and it read, Dear Gossip who are still trashing my personal life. You don't know jack about it. As if you did, you'd have nothing to say. Next time you think about verbally vomiting on the personal life of Oniisan, which is none of your business, so here's your cue to get a life. Just tell yourself the following. And then he posted a picture that is now broken and can't be seen anymore. How old is he here? Born in 1985. 15. He's like 27 now, almost 28. Alright. The issue of Laney-Bot's mental health was also called into question around this time. Tweets of Laney surfaced on the 26th from around the 20th, where Laney expressed a desire to lose weight, despite being already a healthy weight. Laney maintained in these tweets that she was not anorexic, though those behind the scenes, as detailed in part 3, had a different story. So we move into the next month, February. On the 8th of February, Greg uploaded a video titled, I Got Robbed by My Girlfriend. He began the video by saying the events of the video are mostly true.
Hi bananas, unfortunately 95% of the events that occur in this video actually happen to me in real life. The remaining 5% is for comedic purposes.
The first few scenarios have nothing to do with a girlfriend, but he does eventually attack Shiloh, his Canadian ex from 2011, about him sending her money for a new passport and her, in turn, using that money to buy an Xbox. His portrayal of her was not kind.
Hi Greg, it's your girlfriend.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, I'm up here in Canada, but I lost my passport, so I can't come back down yet.
You lost your passport.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, I know that you're a self-admitted pathological liar, but I love you, so I'm going to believe you.
Yeah, cool. So, can you send me $300 to get a new passport?
Yeah, sure.
Just remember, no one will love you as much as I love you.
He also hinted at her cheating, which I covered in part 3.
Hey, Banana King, just writing to let you know your girlfriend's not only been cheating on you in Canada, but also, according to her and her second boyfriend's Facebook post, is pregnant with his baby. Check the attached for proof. What?
It's been over a year now, and Greg was still attacking his ex to millions. Oniisan returned to his stupid character skits soon after this, and on the 12th of February, he uploaded a video titled, Chibi Runs Away from Home. I'm going home! Grown adult here. On the 14th, Greg uploaded a video titled, Wife Fails. I'm uncertain if this was the first video Lainey officially appeared in, but it is the first one, to my knowledge, that Lainey was in where they were featured quite heavily. It's titled Wife Fail because Greg was publicly mocking Lainey, his then wife, now husband, and what they posted on their Tumblr. And I want to note, at this point in time, it has been made quite clear that Lainey has low self-esteem.
Hey guys, today we're gonna do something stupid, which is look at Lainey's stupid Tumblr.
This was uploaded to his Uh-Oh Bros channel, and is also the first, to my knowledge again, of a style of content Greg will continue to do in the future, where he films himself in front of a green screen and makes commentary over an internet browser background. Sometime around this period, Greg uploaded a music video titled, I'm So Fat, which was met with immediate backlash for mocking obese people. The exact date of this video is unknown, because Greg removed it and then re-uploaded it about a month ago from me writing the script. But it was originally uploaded during this year in February, and everyone hated him for it. I remember popular train wreck Bookie2988 reacting to the video, where he mentioned he was previously a fan of Oniisan, though not naming Oniisan, but then he said that this video hurt him.
But I want to talk to you about something that really hurt my feelings this weekend, and I think probably hurt a lot of other people. One of my fellow YouTubers who is very, very successful, and someone I've been subscribed to for years, uploaded a video making fun of fat people, and it was painful for me.
Greg also uploaded a video on the 15th of February called Fat People, which I can only assume was a response to the backlash from the previous video. In the video, he defended his humor about fat people.
Alright, today what I want to talk about is fat people. First off, I just want to say I make fun of myself all the time. I make fun of my zits, I make fun of my oversized head, I make fun of my other physical flaws, and I don't get upset over it because I'm not ashamed of who I am. But anyway, to move more towards the point, my video I'm So Fat wasn't primarily making fun of people for being fat. It was actually heavily focused on what people eat and what it does to their body.
Then, on the 22nd, Greg uploaded another damage control video to his Oniisan Speaks channel, titled More on Oniisan. He started the video saying,
Just want to point something out. Have you ever noticed that people tend to focus on the negative? For instance, let's say I make 100 videos that are very entertaining, they help people, they're just generally awesome. And you don't see anybody getting upset over those ones. Because of course, if they did point them out, it wouldn't make them look good in their stance against me. But the moment I say something that they don't agree with, or they feel like their audience would support them if they were to take a strong stance against me, they exploit the hell out of it, painting a picture that makes me look like Satan.
He claimed in the video people don't like him because
the difference between me and most of the people in your life is I actually share my every single opinion with you. Imagine if your parents, your friends, your other family members told you every single philosophy they had on the world. How many times would you find yourself a little bit put off?
He then proceeded to berate anyone with a negative opinion of him.
But no, Oniisan's a demon because he believes you should eat healthy, and he believes that you shouldn't self-mutilate. You silly, silly human! Come on!
This to me is just another reaction to the negativity he received for his Fat People song. Then in the video, he proceeded to read messages from people who contacted him for advice, as if that absolved him of his past actions.
Anyway, so let's go ahead and go to oniisan.net/contact and talk about what's up with you. And if you're wondering how I put up with all this bullshit, well, let's just say I'm masochistic.
He ends the video with text that reads, "Fluck you. Obsessing / making anti-Oniisan vids says a lot about the life you don't have." We are now in March. The Life of Onion Wiki notes a general change in the month, writing, by March 2013, Greg changed Uh-Oh Bro's format from a gaming channel to a reaction channel. Also during this month, the new iteration of the Onision forums was born, thereby making Cloud Citadel defunct. This iteration was once again hosted on Onision.net. During or around the beginning of the month, Onision and Lanybot attempted to troll their audience. The only evidence of this is a post on the Onision drama Tumblr that reads, Anonymous asked, so apparently Onision and his fiancée had a huge fight and she left him for some chick? It appears though that the separation only lasted a day. Just thought I'd catch you up, to which the Tumblr replied, I've gotten a lot of stuff about this. They were trolling, or attempting to. All they accomplished was confusing their fans. I do not know if there was a video for this or a Twitter post about this. It is difficult to follow people who live their entire life on the internet. This could also mark foreshadowing for the type of relationship the married couple will experience in the future. On March 4th, YouTuber Nate Talks to You uploaded a video titled Onision Damage Control, reviewing the very character traits I detailed throughout this series.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you're about to see is a prime example of what I call Onision Damage Control. What is Onision Damage Control? Well, it works like this. Onisan will make a video doing or saying something that makes him look really bad. People will leave comments and video responses calling him out on his bullshit. Greg will get butthurt from all the criticism he receives, so he'll go on his Onisan Speaks channel and make a video trying to defend himself.
On the 12th of March, Greg uploaded a video called Meat Eaters vs. Vegetarians, featuring his new dog Dobbs. He starts the video by,
Everybody hates me.
Then he proceeded to use his character, Rod Danger, as a meat eater straw man, per usual.
Veg, like vegetarian.
Okay, let's go ahead and see if your dog likes meat as much as he does your freakitarian food.
We learn about his dog's diet in this video.
Okay, well, 1, dogs are omnivores, and 2, I feed him salmon and sweet potatoes.
That's disgusting!
His previous dog was actually vegetarian. The video is not that interesting to be honest, but I like that Greg used it to brag about how much he sticks his shriveled meat stick in others.
So,
just like you've never tried having sex.
I've had sex over 15,000 times.
Commenters on the Onision drama Tumblr noted a change in Lainey, who had previously described themselves as a creepy fangirl. Their words. Now, their Instagram no longer had photos involving their friends, food, etc., and now contained only images about Greg. The post also noted that the young 18-year-old looked way thinner and a lot less happy, and said the change was concerning. Sometime around March 22nd to 25th, Greg uploaded a video called 10 Reasons to Stop Cutting. I cannot find the archive of the video currently as I write this, but on the 25th, someone on the Onision drama Tumblr wrote how the video angered them, saying, You should see Onision's new video, 10 Reasons to Stop Cutting. As a recovering self-harmer, this video offended me. He goes on through the video stereotyping and mocking self-harmers, making them look like these selfish, emo assholes that have no friends. Greg's videos are bad enough as it is, but he keeps putting out more and more offending things. I don't know why I'm even asking this. I just needed to vent about his never-ending stupidity. The next important moment comes on March 27th. Greg posted a video called Onision's New Tattoo, announcing that he and his new young spouse had gotten matching 14 tattoos to commemorate the date of their marriage. Note, November 14th, the date of their wedding, was also the date of Greg's alleged attempted suicide that he continuously brings up to this day to guilt his viewers. In 2019, Greg revealed this tattoo is actually a 11/14. He says this tattoo is for the day he almost ended his life, November 14th, 2007. In that video, he says he unintentionally got legally married on the same day. In the 2013 tattoo video, he showed off his fresh touch-up of his 27 hip tattoo, and he and Lainey's new matching 14 ankle tattoos.
Check this stuff out. This actually isn't a new tattoo, it's just something I did to correct the old tattoo. It was really bad. So now that's all fixed. Let's see if we can take a look. Ow, 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 ow. Ooh, that's bloody. Look at all that blood. Okay, let's go ahead and put that back on. Jesus. So now I'm gonna show you our ankle tattoos. Oh wait, wrong video. Let me put my pants back up. Bam!
Greg, not having attempted to contact his ex-wife, Sky, or her sister, Alicia, in a while, decided to break his silence and emails Alicia on the 28th. He sent emails to multiple addresses owned by Alicia in response to her ghosting him for over 2 years now. She still didn't respond. He titled the email, "Are you okay?" and in the body of the email just had question mark, question mark, question mark. We are now in April, and with the 4th month in the year comes the first major Oniisan drama of 2013. Someone on the internet sent the parents of Taylor, aka Lanybot, a letter. This person will eventually be called the Snail Mail Stalker. You see, due to Greg's and Lainey's secret marriage behind Lainey's parents' back, someone felt the desire to tell the parents. The letter informed them that Lainey was now married and warned the parents about how they believed Greg to be dangerous. This letter caused a string of angry videos from Greg later in the year, accusing Mr. Repsion of being the snail mail stalker. In the videos, he said that Taylor's parents were creeped out by the whole situation. Because of these videos, many viewers got the impression that Lanybot's family were on Greg's side, but then Greg uploaded a video in 2015 called Draw My Wife, which showed that Lainey's parents were not a fan of Greg or his age.
So Mr. Grump is sitting across the table from me at Olive Garden. Our conversation was kind of chill at first, but then his eyes started turning red. He started getting teary because Mr. Grump decided to threaten my well-being. Despite my relationship with Lainey being legal, he also threatened to put me in prison, despite, again, our relationship being totally legal.
Despite Greg blaming Mr. Repsion, it actually turned out to be a user named Don't Stand So Close to Me that sent the letter. This month has Greg creating a lot of damage control pages to his website. One page, called Onision vs. Encyclopedia Dramatica. This was created as a reply to what was written about him on the website Encyclopedia Dramatica. Encyclopedia Dramatica is a parody wiki website. Greg made his page disprove a parody website. If anyone listening knows anything about Encyclopedia Dramatica, trying to go against the site is really never a good idea. In fact, the only way to successfully destroy anything involved with Encyclopedia Dramatica, or ED for short, is to become an admin and then get arrested. But that's a lesson for another day. The original ED article starts out by writing, Oniisan is a YouTuber born with ovaries instead of testicles. This makes him curl his eyelashes and put on light makeup, and has male goddess-like syndrome. An obviously joking statement, not to be taken seriously. But Greg did, and he replied to this by writing, My eyelashes naturally look the way they do, as does my skin, so thank you for the compliment. The original article continued to read, He is famous for the drama he makes, and for his train wreck of a love life. This statement is actually fairly accurate, but Greg attempted to combat it by writing, I'm actually famous for my comedy videos that have been on MTV, Comedy Central, ABC, and other television networks. I have hundreds of millions of views on my comedy videos, not my serious ones. The ED article continued, writing, His pastime is physically, mentally, and verbally abusing his girlfriends/fiancés/wives when he isn't busy creating YouTube videos, ranting about haters. Now he wants his privacy. Greg's rebuttal to this is that his exes still want to be his friend, and he has proof of this, and that his wife, Lanybot, is totally happy, and that ED needs to stop spreading ignorance. The ED article continues. He believes that the following deserve to die. Omnivores and carnivores. People who smoke, drink, take drugs, even if it's prescription. People who are circumcised, and anyone whose views oppose his own. To which Greg totally says is fake news, and he never wishes harm on people because his family members eat meat, smoke, drink, have used drugs, are circumcised, and oppose his views in many ways. And he adds that despite all this, he loves them all. I won't read the page in its entirety. I'm just going to read over some other key rebuttals Oniisan had. The article at one point read, Oniisan's fans are whiny mostly ugly 16-year-old girls and sexually confused 13-year-old boys who spend all their time on Oniisan's videos to hear the sound of his voice. And what do you think Greg's response was? His response was quoting Google Analytics that most of his audience is 18+. Okay, here's another little interesting bit by him. The ED article writes, Most of his posts on Twitter include cyberbullying his exes for having a dirty house, just because she dumped him, or to reply to his haters, which Oniisan responded with, Actually, I very, very rarely have ever mentioned my exes' names in videos about what they've done to me in the past. As I stated before, every one of them wanted to be my friend after all was said and done, but I chose not to associate with any of them, simply because I broke up with all of them for good reasons. Whenever I made a video about my exes, it was often in response to being stolen from, conned, cheated on, lied about, etc. Most every video was about telling the truth/defense. And again, unlike many haters, I had the decency to exclude full names/avatars, etc. The ED article also mentioned Oniisan's cult later on by writing, in 2005, Oniisan, at the age of 17, decided to create a cult named Cecil. In this cult, he would be the cult leader, and he would guide its members to enlightenment. Greg replied, calling this fake news as well, and said his religion was about celebrating the earth, and the haters warped it into something ugly. The article went on to make fun of Cecil more, and then Oniisan also continued to try to debunk, like a joke site. But continuing forward, the ED article then went into Greg's messy relationship past in more detail by writing, in January 2010, Oniisan divorced his wife, Tantega. After breaking up with Tantega, he immediately retreats to his dank corner of YouTube and begins to paint the picture of her as the evil antagonist and him as the innocent martyr. Greg replied to this, writing, "Actually, she signed the divorce papers mid-December 2009. I proposed we divorce months prior when she spoke of claiming my assets against our original verbal agreement. Things calmed down for a while, but I finally asked her to sign the papers later that year." The article had more along the lines of what happened between Greg and Sky and Shiloh, to which Greg denied everything. In Greg's denial, he continued to blame Sky for getting the money from alimony, saying she totally wanted to get back with him, but he refused her. Oh, and that Shiloh lied to him, and he probably cannot get a girl pregnant. He continued to go into more unnecessary details about he and Shiloh's relationship, all to own a satirical website. He then went to respond the details of the article about his 3-week relationship with a girl named AJ, the one that I detailed in part 2, even going as so far to insult Adrian's hygiene. Again, he did that in part 3. After this, he goes into detail about his next victim, I mean significant other, Lainey. It's extremely petty and sad that Oniisan even responded. He even responded to a section on ED about how to troll him. It's odd how he felt that this was ever a good look. Oh, and I found this Reddit post from, I think it's an ED Reddit, making fun of him. This line sums this whole situation up perfectly. He spent all that time replying to his satirical on a satirical website. So, of course, Greg owned ED pretty good here. In fact, he owned them so good that they ended up making a section of his ED page to contain his rebuttal, to show that they were totally owned by the YouTuber. Not only did Greg make this page, but he also made another FAQ page this month. This one titled, Oniisan Haters FAQ. I'm estimating when it was from looking at the page source, which had April listed as did the ED rebuttal page. This is damage control. He's been on this since last year. The Life of Onion wiki describes this FAQ page as, the Oniisan Hater FAQ was an FAQ Greg wrote to explain his 2010 to 2012 relationship drama. He would move this page, along with his The Actual Truth About Oniisan, to different incarnations of his Oniisan site for many years. It is estimated that it was written in 2013. This page, along with The Actual Truth, were written by Greg in the third person. The first question is, why does this FAQ exist? Greg answered this question with, because there are an insane amount of Oniisan haters who really have little to no idea what they're talking about. Now they have almost no excuse for their ignorance. The next question was one I would ask myself. Why doesn't Oniisan ignore the haters? I'm gonna say the true answer is probably like narcissism, but Greg answered with, because he's not good at letting people walk over him and hates ignorance. Like the other pages, I'm not going to read each question and response. And judging by some of the responses, it was updated with drama that happens later in the timeline. Hint, turtle. But I'm going to go over the questions that, in my opinion, directly relate to his delusions. The next question of interest is, did Oniisan really film his ex having a seizure? Greg answered, she had many episodes before. I filmed it to show her what she went through every time. She communicated that she never wanted to go to the hospital for it, so all I could do was help her recall it when it was over. After that specific episode was over, she approved of it being uploaded and saw it before anyone else. We both felt it could help people, but later, I was given the impression that she faked everything. Bottom line, it wouldn't be online unless she, at the time, wanted it to be. Was it a real seizure? In hindsight, I sincerely doubt it. Another question from the page read, Oniisan only dates 17-year-olds, right? Greg answered, wrong. Oniisan's last 5 relationships by age, 24, 17, 23. A relationship with a popular YouTuber he never announced, 26, 17. A lot of illogical people only focus on the 2 17-year-olds he again legally dated. But the reality is, he didn't have an age preference. The only thing he cared about is, 1, is it legal? And 2, does he love them? Then there was a question about what happened with Sky, his ex-wife, which Oniisan answered with the same rhetoric that's usual of him, which is that, Sky stole money from him, that he divorced her for being lazy, and that she signed a divorce contract Greg made up and then still took him to court. The question directly after this one is about what happened with Shiloh, calling her the Canadian ex. He responded in a typical Oniisan fashion. He focused on the negatives about Shiloh being a jealous person who didn't like him jerking his baby carrot to hentai, and also that he filmed her having a breakdown to prove that she was a danger. The last question asked what happened with his Texan ex, Adrian, and Greg pretty much played victim in his answer, claiming AJ was solely a hater attacking him all along, when if you watch part 2 of the docuseries, she only ever responded with her side when Onion Boy attacked her first. He did, however, conclude that they did apologize to each other. Greg made another page around this time, according to the page source, called The Actual Truth About Oniisan. This is all overwhelming damage control to shield his bruised ego. So according to the Life of Onion Wiki, The Actual Truth About Oniisan was a page Greg wrote to combat rumors and criticism he received in his 2010 to 2012 relationship drama. The page starts out by reading, "There are a lot of rumors going around the web about Oniisan. 99% of these rumors are started by individuals who have never met Oniisan, nor understand what really goes on in his life. These very same people use the full name of Oniisan and the individuals they claim to be trying to protect, not only violating their privacy in doing so, but also showing how destructive their intentions are." This page is a response to all the anti-Oniisan sites. However, unlike many of those sites, it will be dishonest. That was a typo, Greg! If you want the truth, it's here, coming straight from the source. If you want lies/empty rumors, look to the complete strangers that stalk Oniisan, all the while pretending they are heroes, trying to protect the internet from this online entertainer. This page is somewhat similar to the other pages I read, so I'm only going to read a few of the interesting questions and answers. One question asks, "Is Oniisan gay?" Which he answers, "Oniisan has kissed a man before. However, he has never been in a homosexual relationship and is not physically attracted to other men." Another interesting question is, "Was Oniisan violated by his dad?" Answer, "No. He does not recall ever being directly violated by an adult." Next question is Oniisan Speaks real? Answer, "The channel Oniisan Speaks focuses on Oniisan's personal views of the world. These opinions occasionally change over time, so you may find statements in a video uploaded a week ago to conflict with a video that he uploaded years ago. Sometimes Oniisan is sarcastic in his videos, or even makes a complete joke video to play off the gullibility of people. This does in fact occur on the Oniisan Speaks channel, so don't take everything seriously. His intentions are to entertain and help, not hurt. If you assume he gains satisfaction from upsetting anyone, you're wrong." Next question. Did Oniisan really abuse his ex-girlfriends? Answer. When someone is an abuser, you'll notice repeated abuse. Oniisan's current wife has made it clear that she is happy and has not been abused in any way. Because of her honesty, people who hate Oniisan have turned on her, demonizing her as her statements do not meet their anti-Oniisan agenda. In all reality, every woman Oniisan was with made attempts to befriend and/or reunite with him after they broke up. However, Oniisan chose not to. There are many more follow-up questions about his exes, and these answers are very similar to Oniisan's Hater Frequently Asked Questions page, accusing his exes of being evil, the same old song and dance for Mr. Onion. He also made the claim when talking about what happened with Sky that she pursued friendship with him. But according to the leaked emails of Greg's continuous contact with her, this friendship was something Greg made up in his own head. Next, Greg talked about Shiloh again, responding to a question about his Canadian ex. It, again, is the same old Oniisan attacking exes stuff, but we found out more of how Oniisan wanted to paint Shiloh as unstable, because he writes in reference to Shiloh, "As they got to know each other more, she exposed Oniisan to more of her world/psyche, which included emotional scars from a complicated past, a split personality. She referred to it as another soul sharing her body, and as she told Oniisan, a history for killing animals accidentally." He concluded this entry about Shiloh by pretending he didn't want raiders to take sides, and also that nothing illegal happened with her. Next, he went on to his breakup with AJ again, and it is again the same normal song and dance of the Banana Man. Nothing really new happened in that section, except Oniisan admitted he cried because AJ wouldn't cuddle him. He concluded the FAQ page with, "If you feel this page misses out on the important truth, please post your concerns to the Oniisan.net contact page, and it should be promptly addressed there. Thank you for enduring me speaking in the third person. I hope you appreciate the truth coming straight from the source." He created another page around this time, and this is again judging by the page source, titled Why People Hate Oniisan. This page, unlike the others, is written in paragraph form. Like the others, it is written in third person. The gist of the page is that people only focus on him because he's popular, and if Oniisan had 0 subscribers, 0 hits, and almost no one knew who he was, do you think people would waste their time talking about Oniisan? Certainly not the people who live off popularity. It's a direct quote from him. The rest of it is just trying to guilt those who criticize him for dehumanizing him. And the page concludes with him saying these channels talking about him are bullying him. He ends the page by writing, "There is no honor in bullying and lying, but, as many know, honor unfortunately does not pay the bills, and so the shenanigans continue for them. Meanwhile, Oniisan still makes comedy videos, still makes motivation vlogs, and still does gaming videos. Much more fun than trying to find success by personally attacking others. We're finally done with the fucking FAQ pages." On the 2nd of April, Greg goes again on a damage control tirade with a video called Lanybot and Oniisan, 5 Common Misconceptions, YouTuber Couple. In the video, Greg explains that he is misunderstood, and he is making this video to show how his detractors perceive him versus reality. Greg strawmans those who criticize him by making all the criticisms vastly outrageous. These misconceptions that Greg included were that he dates kids in elementary school.
Hey Lainey, you're getting kind of old.
I'm 18.
Yeah, ew. Do you have any hot 10-year-old friends or something?
Why?
You know what they say, I keep getting older and they keep staying in elementary school.
That he flips out on meat eaters.
Hey Greg, I'm gonna start eating meat.
Are you serious? I don't even fucking know you!
That he is running a cult where he wears Snuggies and he blesses his followers with onion dicings.
Yes, Master God, cult leader, I have prayed to you.
Did you happen to peer upon my other wives Wednesday or Friday yet?
No, Master God, cult leader, I have not.
Thank you, Tuesday. You will be rewarded with the God sex.
That he irrationally hates circumcision.
Greg, I think I'm gonna circumcise our baby if we have a boy.
What? I don't even know you!
And that he hates all fat people.
Greg, can I eat this grain of rice?
Why, so you can look like a fat cow that I'll never be attracted to again?
Okay. He ended the video by showing that the reality is that Greg and Lainey are a happy couple.
I'm kidding! Come here!
Also, at some point during this, Greg got another pet, a turtle named Reptar. With the increasing number of people criticizing Greg's actions, people zoned in on everything he did. And on April 3rd, his turtle Reptar got stuck between a rock and the side of his tank. Instead of helping Reptar right away, Greg posted a photo to Instagram writing, "Reptar got stuck and passed out on the rock, ... LOL." The day after this, or around that, I can't tell the exact date because Greg took the video down and re-uploaded it, but judging by the entries on his website, Greg uploaded a video titled 10 Things I Hate About Dumping People. Surprisingly, this video did not contain any overt attacks on his exes. On April 5th, Greg uploaded a Draw My Life video. This style of video was very popular among content creators during this time. Greg even acknowledged he is doing this as part of a trend to get views at the beginning of the video.
Hello everyone. Like a bag, I'm doing what everyone else is doing because I know it will get me hits.
Greg in this video goes over a lot of what we went over in part 1 of this series. Greg's doctors thought he was gonna be born retarded.
A few months back, the doctor said I was going to be born retarded, so my mom should abort me.
That Greg says his father is a pedo.
So this is awkward. I don't really remember much of anything before the age of 11. And considering my father's an accused child molester, that's probably not a good thing.
What we do find out is that Greg was bullied in school for the size of his head, but he says he now has grown into it.
So through most of school, I was made fun of having the last name of Jackson. Everyone said I was related to Michael Jackson, and people made fun of my giant head a lot. But eventually, I grew into the size of my head, and now no one picks on me for it.
Which is funny, because he really hasn't. In the video, he details the girl he lost his virginity to.
Eventually, I was in one place long enough to get a girlfriend and lose my virginity. We broke up like 8 times, and eventually it was just over.
He then goes into his military service, and at this point, he continuously brings up his alleged attempted suicide.
And after a year or so of being in South Korea, I had a mental breakdown and almost killed myself. But nobody knew I had a mental breakdown because I did it quietly with a 9mm to my head. Yeah, I have no idea what that is, I'm sorry.
He ends the video with more suicide baiting.
You know when I had that M9 to my head and I was incredibly suicidal thinking about pulling the trigger? You want to know why I didn't do it? Because on November 14th, 2007, I told myself that if I could dedicate myself to YouTube, to entertaining and making people like you happy, to making my stupid life have some kind of meaning, then I didn't need to kill myself. Because I had something to live for. And that's you.
And then LARPs as a human and pretends to cry.
Sorry, I'm tearing up a little bit. This happens when I talk about my story, but the point is, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for making me feel like I'm not completely worthless. Bye.
Typical Oniisan. It's like clockwork. Mention suicide, fake tears, accuse exes. On the 6th, and this is just hearsay, from an anonymous person, someone posts to the Onion Drama Tumblr writing, I know no one will listen, but I have something to get off my chest. I've had a crush on Oniisan until the day he started asking me for nude pictures, and he has sent me a few of his own. He sent me pictures last night. Anyways, let me explain. Long story short, we have been talking nonstop for the past 2 days, and he asked me for nudes, and sent me one of his own. I thought this was a little odd considering I'm only 15, and he knows that. I was wondering if I could get him in trouble. I have proof. From what I know, the proof was not shared. Drama had been pretty slow so far this year, and the same day as the nudes post, someone on the Onion Drama Tumblr asks why it was so slow, and the Tumblr responds, there's not really drama, just Gerg and Lainey getting butthurt over the negative attention she's been receiving. Next, on the 8th of April, at least according to the page source, Greg wrote a page on his Onision.me site titled Oniisan's Teenage Religion. This page was dedicated to explaining Seseska. Greg spent a great deal this year reacting to things that he'd previously talked about, as if this time around he'll stop anyone from criticizing him. On this page, he copies and pastes the original text from his Seseska website and adds commentary. He started the page by writing, When I was 17, I put a bunch of my ideas on a website and turned it into my own religion, as I did not agree with any religions at the time. Doing so made sense to me. About a year later, I became agnostic. It means I believe in the possibility, but prefer not to pretend possibility is fact, just because I have faith, and have been since. Regardless, a lot of people have taken what I've said back then and tried to warp it to make it seem like I said something I did not. I'm happy to share what was actually written with all of you. Enjoy. So Greg just went through the original text from his Seseska religion with little anecdotes from his current day thoughts. I'm going to read what I found interesting. So the original Seseska text read, The literary documents provided on the site introduce and evaluate an amazing reality, which is now finding homes in millions of information-hungry minds all over the earth. And Greg responds, Actually, it only found its way into a few thousand homes. Sure, Greg. The page continues with excerpt followed by Greg's current day commentary. It is unclear if Greg convinced any detractors from criticizing his old religion from when he was 17. The day after this Seseska page, on April 9th, Greg posted yet another trying to explain himself page, this one titled Oniisan's Childhood. I'm again guessing on the precise dates of these pages by looking at the page source. He started out the entry by vilifying his father, yet again, and telling his audience he didn't really remember anything before the age of 11. We also found out an interesting thing here, that his stepfather made him pray to the television and call it Satan. Not sure if that's true, just found it to be a ridiculous statement. And even worse than that, Greg wrote that his stepfather smoked weed. Gasp. Also, we found out that said stepfather was abusive physically to his mother, which is according to his mom, the same mother who told him that his biological father was a pedophile. Lady seems to make a lot of accusations on men she's with. Not trying to victim blame here, I just don't trust the woman who raised Oniisan to be a truthful person. I went over his childhood in part 1 and how he detailed it, but going over it once more, we learned again about him being born deformed in this section, and having an oversized head. There wasn't much new information here, but it's just another example of Greg's self-importance and need to overshare as if he had some great story to tell. He ended this entry with, My life wasn't very hard as a kid, despite the fact that we were poor and could barely afford milk. I lived in the woods by a creek most of my young life where we raised animals. If anything, life was ideal for me. It was only upon reaching my late teens did my life become dark and depressing. I'll leave it at that. On that same day, the 9th, Greg published a video called Oniisan Murders an Animal. It was actually just Oniisan playing a game and killing fictional characters, but it does foreshadow what is going to come later in the year. Greg continued his obsession with assault and on the 14th with a video titled The Truth About Assault Crimes. He started this very serious video by wearing a comical mustache and saying this was about serious stuff.
Hey guys, pardon my exterior, I just finished recording an bro and I have a thing for mustaches. Today we're going to talk about some serious stuff.
Thrilling. He then informed his audience this video was to guide people through the process of getting help for rape.
Okay, so in previous videos, I've given you guys resources to help you if you ever know someone who's a victim of rape or are a victim of rape yourself, but I feel like it's a lot better to actually guide you through the process of getting help rather than just telling you to go somewhere and hopefully you'll find something that helps you.
Which, in the end, it was actually just Greg Googling stuff.
End Crimes Against Women, rescue.org, let's check that out. Okay, so this site's about international stuff, so that doesn't help me.
Wow, so to help victims, Greg just Googled stuff. Very helpful. He then used it as an opportunity to spread his anti-alcohol and anti-drug message.
1 in 3 sexual assaults, the perpetrator was intoxicated. So you're saying if we did everything we could to get rid of alcohol and other mind-altering substances in this country that weren't being used for medical reasons, that we would actually reduce the rate of by 33%? Why don't we human beings just sacrifice certain things for the mass good of humanity? That's what I wonder.
So, if I thought watching an e-celeb Googling stuff without verifying the data they read off about traumatizing events was a good way to help victims, I'd be doing that now myself. Anyways, he ended the video with,
and I hope you show how brave you are by standing up and bringing this person to justice. Regardless, thank you so much for watching this channel. I hope this was educational to you. I hope I helped.
The next day, Greg uploaded an unremarkable gameplay video with his spouse, Lainey, titled Closure. Nothing of interest happened, to be honest, except Greg making everything sexual.
This reminds me of that time when I figured out how to masturbate and I didn't stop masturbating for weeks after.
So due to Greg's assault educational video, the Truth About Assault Crimes one, actually the original title was called The Truth About Greg got some negative comments. Who would guess when you started a video about a serious subject and a comical mustache, that would happen? Well, due to the negative response, on the 16th, Greg uploaded a video titled, It's Never the Victim's Fault. He started the video by saying that he was labeled a rape apologist again, due to that Truth About video.
Hey guys, yet again, for some reason, I'm being called a rape apologist, specifically in response to this The Truth About Rape video that I uploaded.
In the video, he said others claimed that he said it's okay to be raped in some situations.
But apparently some people are twisting my words, making it seem like there are situations in which it's okay to rape women.
He added that no one he ever met called him a rape apologist.
Like, nobody I've ever met has called me a rape apologist.
So like, why are all these mean bully jerks doing this? In the video, he included that he made his stance on rape clear. That stance was that rape is worse than murder.
You know why? Because rape is worse than murder to me.
He added that his last video was educational, because showing people how to Google is very educational, but the bullies ruined it.
And I really am sorry for all the victims out there who have to put up with these people who have never suffered rape, these people who have never really felt true pain, trying to demonize people just trying to help you.
He concluded the video by tooting his own tiny horn and saying he donated thousands to some website, but never informed the audience what that website exactly does.
Again, if you need help, there's a site that I've donated to multiple times in my past, probably thousands of dollars by now, which is rainn.org, RAINN.org. I encourage all of you to donate to that site as well. And again, the phone number that you can call if you need help in a situation of sexual abuse, domestic violence, etc. is in the description. Thank you so much for watching the Oniisan Speaks channel. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Also on this day, Greg started a Hot versus Not series, according to the Life of Onion wiki. This is a series wherein he rates women based on appearances. It is the first instance of him starting to rate women's bodies publicly. A day after this, Greg turned back to his circumcision hate posting with a video titled The Truth About Circumcision. Moving on. Remember the snail mail stalker? Well, Greg finally addressed the situation publicly on April 28th. Greg released a video to his Speaks channel titled Dear Stalker. In the video, he reveals his in-laws received a letter from someone explaining how they believed Greg was a horrible person.
Anyway, so something this creepy dude did was wrote my in-laws about what a terrible person he believes me to be. And you know what my in-laws did? Well, they told my wife what happened and conveyed the message that it creeped them out.
And claimed he knew who sent it, and that it was someone that makes videos about him. He went on to defend himself from the accusations against him about being a rape apologist.
I can say something like drinking is irresponsible and you're setting yourself up for a lot of risks when you do that, and someone can twist those words into saying that I support rape, despite the fact that I've made I don't know how many, quite a few videos against rape.
Many people believed he was talking about Mr. Repzion, because Repzion had previously made a video about him. About 2 weeks prior to this video, Mr. Repzion made a response video to Greg's video, The Truth About Rape. In Repzion's video, he highlighted questionable statements Greg had said in his video about rape, and claimed that Greg was a rape apologist and/or enabler. Greg was defending himself from those statements in this video. Repzion had also previously made a video directed at Taylor's parents titled "To the Parents of Lainey, Oniisan's New Wife." That video did get removed. This situation will escalate as the year continues. But on or around the end of the month, about on the 29th, a social media profile of Taylor's from when they were 16 was found. On the page, Lainey-Bot listed themselves as bisexual and wrote that they were looking for athletic boys and petite girls. When this was brought to Lainey-Bot on Twitter, they denied being bisexual. It has been speculated that Lainey denied being bisexual because it was a common belief at the time that Greg did not trust bisexual relationships due to his accusations of his Texan ex in 2011. Greg replied to a Tumblr anon asking about the profile by saying Lainey could be whatever they wanted to be, and denied the all bisexuals cheat rumor about him. He included the tags in the answer, LOL, silly, whatever. We are now in May. Greg went and did another comedy video on the 2nd called Guy Logic. It was only a minute long, and it was well received. The video poked fun at masculinity. There was even a joke that applied to Greg's past actions.
Man logic.
I would call my girlfriend, but she's a mile away, and porn is right here.
But drama would appear at Greg's feed again just 4 days later on the 6th. On that day, Greg uploaded a video titled, "Please Stop This." He started out the video by announcing it was an intervention to the person that had been harassing his wife, his in-laws, and himself.
Hey guys, this video is kind of an intervention and a kind of request for the individual who's been harassing my wife, my wife's in-laws, and myself for some time now to stop.
He announces that many people knew who he was talking about in his Dear Stalker video, and he had received messages from people asking if it was them. In the video, he says this person is set on ruining his life, marriage, and happiness.
This person is so set on ruining my life, ruining my marriage, ruining my happiness, because everybody automatically associates it with them.
He also says his in-laws told him they received a disturbing Facebook message from this person, and later a snail mail letter to their home. Greg says this person was trying to cause drama in his life, and left a comment on one of his videos reading,
and then he proceeded to commenting on one of my YouTube videos, "I wonder if Taylor feels if she has competition now." He's implying that I'm somehow going to be attracted to another girl who was in one of my videos, I suppose just because she's a girl.
Greg responded to the comment saying,
"This is my response to him implying that I was going to leave and or cheat on my wife with this girl who was in my video. You really are mental. What you did was really disturbing. Blocking you now. Do us a favor, get a life, and stop stalking us."
Greg then says anyone that has been harassed, or anyone who has watched their family be harassed, understands his frustration. He said they sent him an email and threatened to release legal documents with Greg and Lainey's full names on them. He says this person already showed their YouTube viewers.
He wrote me an email threatening to release legal documents with both my name and my wife's full name on them. And not just to his YouTube viewers, because he's already done that. He's gonna post it to a hate site.
Greg sarcastically says,
"Because you know this guy is such a saint and he's just trying to help my wife get away from the evil demon that is me, right?"
He then said this person is being a hypocrite.
"I'm gonna prove to everybody that I was wrong about you being a stalker creep by doing something a stalker creep would do."
Greg shows the email sent by this person, covering their email address, but leaving their first name in, Daniel.
This is what he wrote to my email. "I'll make this short. I wrote no snail mail letter to Taylor's parents, nor would I ever go that far. Yeah, writing a snail mail letter to my in-laws is way too far, but releasing our legal documents with our full name to a hate site? Oh, that's nothing."
He proceeded to repeat how this person is being a hypocrite and says,
"Do you realize how crazy you sound? This is why a lot of people are afraid to turn on their cameras and post videos to YouTube, because they're afraid of psycho creepy stalkers like you."
He said this person also made a video to his in-laws telling them he was a horrible person and trying to ruin his life.
"Why would I believe you? You literally made a video addressing my in-laws, telling them what a horrible person you, a person who has never met me, believes me to be."
The person tells Greg in the email to just ignore his comments next time, as just a tip.
"Next time it's best to just ignore my comments on your YouTube video rather than reply to them directly. Like you did. Just a tip. What, are you gonna release my social security number next time? You gonna release my driver's license number, my license plate number? What kind of invasion of privacy is too immoral for you to take part in?"
Greg's response email says he believes his in-laws and he could take them to court over this. Then in the video, he said he could spend thousands of dollars on a lawyer to repair the damages that's been done. But Greg then says,
"I could spend thousands on a lawyer to try to repair the damage that's been done so far. But here's the thing, I have no guarantee of getting any justice whatsoever, so I could be investing thousands of dollars into a case that will get me nowhere."
In the video, he also includes that he contacted YouTube about this person.
"I have complained multiple times to YouTube about this individual and they have done almost nothing. It's amazing that people could see individuals trying to rip other people's lives apart over and over and over again and cheer them on, despite the fact that those individuals have never personally attacked the individuals attacking them."
In the video, he also says this person went too far when when he brought his family into this. But because Greg is so great, he said in the video that he will not release this person's full name or channel. Greg continued the video saying that
I've gotten literally thousands of dislikes because of the way that they portrayed me. Because of the spin they put on my life, making me seem like the most abusive and controlling and manipulative person known to man. It's just really, people, think. If you want to find out whether or not someone's miserable, ask them if they're happy. Ask them how they're feeling. Don't go to some guy who hates another guy who's dating the person you're concerned with and automatically assume that that total stranger knows everything about that person's relationship.
he ended the video by saying he has nothing to say to the stalker.
To that person who threatened to release those documents, apparently it's already going to happen. God, I have nothing to say to I have nothing to say to you at all. Other than leave us alone.
Later that same day, Mr. Repzion uploaded a video titled Evidence vs. Onision. In Repzion's video, he states he knew Greg may have been accusing him of sending him a letter, but he was not the one who sent it, so he decided not to address the situation on his channel.
Until last night, he responded to a comment of mine, which is really, Oniisan has never responded to a comment by mine, and as you'll see in a few minutes, you'll see the comment that he wrote, but it was interesting because the comment that I wrote was nothing in relation to the comment he responded to me, but nonetheless, he deleted his comment and my comment within a few seconds after deleting both of them.
Repzion responded to this by sending Greg an email.
So last night before I went to bed, I sent him an email, right? I sent him an email clarifying. I said, my first email to you, I titled it, and I'm going to show it to you. I said, paraphrasing, you'll see it in a few minutes, I did not write the letter.
Repzion then says he sent Greg's in-laws a Facebook message over 5 months ago.
I did write a Facebook message over 5 months ago to your in-laws, but many people did that, so I don't know what message they're reading, I don't know what they're referring to. Maybe it was my message that I sent on Facebook, I don't know, but it doesn't really matter because it's Facebook.
He continues saying there's nothing illegal or wrong about sending a Facebook message. Repzion continues saying just because he wrote the Facebook message doesn't mean he wrote the snail mail letter, and that he knows who wrote it. Repzion also details that Greg only showed half of his email in his video. The half that Greg did not show explains who it was who sent the letter. Repzion actually made a very good point in this video.
Is that you show half of my email, but you don't show the other half in which I responded and told you who it was, and that I didn't write it, and among other things, and you still make a video about my private email that I sent to you privately, and this is the key, this is really funny, is you're always telling your stalkers that if you have a problem with them, to write you privately. I did exactly that. I wrote you privately, and then you make a video about it. So what's the point in trying to write privately to you when you ask your subscribers or even haters to write you privately? And I took it privately, and you made a video about it. I mean, wow.
Repzion also says that if Greg took him to court, his case would be thrown out because his only evidence...
Your court case would be thrown out so fast. You want to know why? Because your entire logic for this entire video directed at me is your in-laws said that it was you.
And Repzion even included that the user that wrote the letter made a video about sending the letter. Daniel includes that Greg chose to ignore the evidence and still just blamed him. Repzion also included that the hate site, aka Encyclopedia Dramatica, already had the document before he sent the email about releasing the information.
And here's the fun thing, the reason I mentioned Encyclopedia Dramatica regarding your marriage license is to get a reaction out of you, which is exactly what happened. I told, because I know you hate that website, so I thought, well, if I attach the marriage document and then say to him that I'm going to give it to them, which they already have it, by the way, I got a reaction out of you by simply making a reference to a website which I know you hate.
Repzion then showed the part of the email that was cut off in Greg's video.
I say in response to your email, the user who wrote the letter was Don't Stand Close to Me on YouTube. Send me a screenshot of the letter, I want to see it. In case you didn't know, marriage license is already public by state law. It's in King County records, accessible by all. I know you hate Encyclopedia Dramatica, just thought I'd hand it over to them. My suggestion to you, and I mean this, if you want me to stop making videos about you, don't say stupid shit or things without backing up with evidence. I wish no harm to you, your family, but when you make videos saying stupid things or an argument that doesn't make sense, I'll respond. I do this with many people, not just you. Peace. And of course, did Greg actually include this? No, of course he didn't, because Greg always likes to be the victim. He always likes to portray everybody as being the problem. Everybody else has issues except him.
Repzion had an interesting theory in this about why Greg cut off that part of the letter.
This is what is known as a narcissist, where everything revolves around them, and they try to twist and turn everything to be someone else's fault, and they try to blame everything and accuse everybody of everything else rather than ever looking at themselves.
Repzion proceeded to show a message from Don't Stand So Close to Me. The message explained he was the one that wrote the letter, and that if it was his daughter in that situation, he would want someone to tell him what's going on.
He replies, yes, I sent it because the actual email didn't go through. Then he goes on to say about parents and how if he was a parent, he would want to know what his daughter was doing with a crazy psychopath. But near the end, he says, and finally, to Mr. Repzion, if you want to clear this up with your subs and viewers, go ahead and make a video telling them who I am, who sent the letter, or directing them to this video below, as I am proud of what I have done and I will do it again.
Repzion also links the video where Don't Stand So Close to Me explains it was him. Repzion ended the video by saying he would be happy to go to court because he did nothing wrong. And Don't Stand So Close to Me's video on the letter was titled, To the Parents of Lamybot, Onion's New Victim. Don't Stand So Close to Me's video showed how they were able to obtain Laney's parents' email address and later home address. This video also showed the content of the letter that was sent. Shortly after Mr. Repzion's video titled Evidence vs. Oniisan, Greg uploaded another video. This one was titled, Dear Stalker, Get a Life. Greg used this video to attack Mr. Repzion, telling him,
So if you're one of the many people here to feed off the pain of others, really get a life.
And calling him a stalker some more.
Now this individual who's been like a stalker making many videos about me has made a video responding to the last video I made asking him to cease and desist any interactions with us and any talk of us.
He also called him a bully.
And quite frankly, I don't understand it. When somebody says, leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone, and you still bother them, all you are is a bully.
He then admitted he never watched any of this person's videos in full before.
I've never watched any of his videos in full before. The only thing I've really been told about them is that he says a lot of things that are baseless.
He doesn't actually name Mr. Repzion in the video, but he continued to attack him. He added in the video that this person allegedly did not write the snail mail letter.
The reason my in-laws thought it was him that wrote them the snail mail, which allegedly he didn't actually do that, it was someone that he associates with, someone that clearly has the same thoughts about me that he does. The reason my in-laws thought it was him is because he wrote them through Facebook. Who does that?
He then made a claim that this person was trying to destroy his marriage.
Who writes the in-laws of someone they don't like on YouTube trying to destroy that individual's marriage? Trying to save a woman who doesn't need to be saved because she's happy in her relationship.
Then he decided to start responding minute by minute to Mr. Repzion's video.
So, let's see what he has to say about me. Oh God, it's 14 minutes and 44 seconds, really? Jesus.
Greg also addressed the reason why part of the email was cut off.
While I was making my video response to you asking you to stop stalking us, you sent me a response to me saying, leave us alone, you freak, saying the person who wrote that letter to my in-laws was actually someone else who also made hate videos against me. But I fall back on the point that you have inserted yourself into my personal life despite that I want nothing to do with you, despite that my wife wants nothing to do with you, despite the fact that my in-laws want nothing to do with you. You wrote my in-laws on Facebook, and you know you did, which is incredibly creepy. Just because someone else in fact did that snail mail does not make you any less innocent.
He also made the claim in this video that this person invaded his privacy when he showed the marriage certificate.
Especially considering the fact that you posted my marriage certificate to the internet, and just because my marriage certificate is already available to the public if people pay a fee, or in your case I suppose it was free, you posting my full name, my wife's full name, and our marriage certificate is an invasion of privacy in the sense that you posted it to a hate video. It's not like you said, hey, Lainey and Greg got married, congratulations to them, I'm so happy for them, here's proof that they got married. No, it wasn't positive whatsoever.
He also attacked Repzion's sub count.
Your biggest channel has 90,000 subscribers? Really?
He ended the video by thanking his fans.
So, with that being said, to all the people who support me and love me, thank you so much for being you. Thank you so much for not supporting this stalker creep freak. And yeah, I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my day as I've already uploaded 2 videos today.
And added that he didn't watch the 14-minute video.
Oh, and by the way, I stopped watching your 14-minute and 44-second video about what a piece of shit you think I am. Because quite frankly, I feel like you have to be a total loser to feel like watching you rant about some dude you don't even know on the internet to be a productive use of their time. Bye.
The next day, Greg uploaded another video on the topic titled, Just, Go, Away, in all caps. Greg started off the video by saying he was hoping to never make a video about this again, but he had received a privacy complaint on his channel against one of his videos. Greg then reviewed what Mr. Epsion did.
The privacy complaint was filed against a video where I was calling a stalker out for stalking me.
And also added that Repsion had tried to add Taylor on Facebook, but Taylor rejected him. Greg then claimed that this person, aka Repsion, filed a privacy complaint.
And now he's filing a privacy complaint against me, even though I censored out his full name. Which is the most hypocritical and ironic thing he could possibly do at this point, considering he released my full name and my wife's full name to not only his audience, but also threatened to release it to a hate site.
But Greg also admitted in that video that he did not have proof that Repsion filed the complaint.
Anyway, so that's the privacy complaint he allegedly submitted against me. I don't know, they can track his IP or whatever. So yeah, what that means is that he could actually lose his channel for submitting a false privacy complaint.
He ends the video by telling his stalker that he's a hypocrite, and then adds a,
"So, to creepy stalker dude who is now obviously a hypocrite and acting insanely ironic, back off dude, it's creepy." Anyway, so you guys are going through withdrawals, I understand that, so I'm going to go ahead and boob squeeze.
This incident received a bit of media attention, and was followed on New Media Rockstars. Mr. Epsion did not lose his channel for filing a false complaint. While this was happening, something went down behind the scenes. This event is known as the Underage Troll, or the Underage Nude Troll. On the 6th, a troll sent Greg an email pretending to be a 17-year-old girl that was interested in making videos. This email read, "I'm 17 and I live in the area and would like to know if I could have a shot in maybe being in one of your videos. IDK, people say I'm pretty funny and photogenic. So if you're interested, please let me know. Here's what I look like, LOL." The email had a photo of a topless woman, which Greg replied to the email saying, Facebook/channel? Also, due to the snail mail stalker videos put out, some guy 827, who is like the original Oniisan expert on the internet, made a video disputing Oniisan, much like Repsion.
So without further ado, let's nuke this bastard, because it's what people like Dan and I do best.
Just a tip. What, are you gonna release my social security number next time?
I don't even know if you have a social security number. Maybe you were born on some alien planet where they don't have social security and being a menacing dude is normal.
Back to the Underage Nude Troll. The consequences of this troll would hit Greg on the 8th. On May 8th, the troll took a screenshot of the email exchange and submitted it to the Oniisan Drama Tumblr with the description, "I emailed Greg pretending to be a 17-year-old chick that lived in the same area as him and wanted to be in his videos because people said she was funny and photogenic. And I also sent him a pic of some nude chick I found online that looked convincing enough, and he asked for my Facebook/channel. A married, not far from his 30s, gets sent a pic of a naked chick claiming to be 17, and he responds and asks for her Facebook/YouTube. Word began to quickly spread, and many people began to accuse Greg of trying to cheat on his wife, Taylor. Greg soon became aware of this controversy. After this, on the same day, Greg uploaded a response to his Speaks channel called A New Low. Greg started out the video by saying,
"Hey guys, this is gonna be kind of an awkward video because I fucked up." I really did. A lot of people are gonna think this is me talking my way out of some incident.
He added that he is used to people sending him topless photos, but normally deleted them because he's married. He also added,
Anyway, so apparently somebody sent me a topless picture and I didn't know that they sent me a topless picture because I was on my Samsung. So I responded to them with Facebook/channel, which is me wondering how they are on YouTube and what they look like because I didn't know that there was an attached image.
Greg continued the video by demonstrating on his phone how he missed the attachment on the Gmail app.
As you can see here, it shows the attached image. Now if I close out of my phone and open it back up and then drag this up, you'll see the same message. You see there's an attachment, it says attachment 1. But it just says the message here, there's nothing below.
Greg says because of this, he will no longer respond to any emails. In the video, he told the troll,
and I'm also wondering if that picture was really of a 17-year-old topless. I don't know if you realize that, but that's a serious crime in the United States. So you having shared that image of someone underage nude could get you into a lot of trouble.
He said even though he's punishing everyone for the action of a few.
I know people feel like I'm punishing everyone for the actions of a few, which I actually am. But to me, this was a disgustingly low blow, and I'm just sick of it. It's time to completely cut off direct communication and just make videos.
He thanked the people that have been hating on him for so many years that stooped to these levels. He ended the video with,
and you know what? No boob squeeze this video, because doing so would be very awkward later.
Soon, Greg posted a Facebook status saying this will be the last non-video status he will make. That wasn't the case though. Greg was soon back to communicating with fans through social media updates. This scandal got fairly big and was even reported on internet celebrity media sites. Greg made a new video to his main channel, Oniisan, as well on this day, called Lainey Bought an Oniisan, Day in Our Life. This is an example of how many people were interested in these two as fans. It's a stupid music video of Greg talk singing about random things they do in their day. Think like a musical vlog. How did this get 1 million views? And a positive voting ratio? People used to like this? Glad his channel's dying. Oh, and he jokes about abusing Lainey. Funny. On the 11th of the month, Greg uploaded a video that I cannot find now, called My Confession. From the screen caps, he dressed up like Batman. The description reads, "This video is getting a lot of hate for ... I guess ... tricking people, I think ... What they're really saying is either I'm such a brilliant actor that what I look like / say prior to the act is overpowered by my acting skills, or there are a lot of other illogical people watching me. They're probably new to this channel. I specifically say it's a monologue, a long speech by one actor in a play or movie. Note, actor, as in, you know, fiction, while in a Batman costume, and people still take me seriously. P.S. Family Guy is awesome." After Greg's continued butt mad at Repsion uploaded a funny, mocking video about the adult YouTuber the day after the confession video, called Onision Logic. Repsion opened the video in the most early YouTube way possible.
I am a Sith Lord.
Oh, Daniel. In the video, Repsion explains this was a parody of Onision's previous videos.
So about 2 weeks ago, Greg made 2 videos on his main channel titled Man Logic, where he mocks men who have really bad logic in terms of relationship advice. And he also made a video titled Dog Logic and Girl Logic. So I thought, you know what? Thank you for giving me the idea, Greg, Onision, because now I'm making a video titled Onision Logic.
Repsion made a lot of good points in it. The next day, Greg uploaded a video called My Sixth Secret, where he is in drag. He started the video by referencing the now deleted My Confession video.
Hey guys, first off, I want to apologize for the video I uploaded yesterday. It was very offensive.
And then told his audience he will stop being offensive, and then says he's gonna talk about abortion now.
I am truly ashamed, and I'm sorry. Now, today I'm going to do another monologue on abortion.
A joke. Then he goes into a monologue about feeling different, growing up with women, and being pro-women's rights. He then tells everyone that he got a sex change when he was 13.
I just appreciate the female gender a whole lot more than I appreciate the male gender, but I never explained in depth what the reason for me feeling this strongly towards women and this strongly against men was. Over the years, a lot of people have accused me of being gay. They feel like I have too many female characteristics. Some of the videos I've done with men seem a bit sexual and homoerotic. But the reality is that when I was 13, I actually had a sex change.
In the video, he admits that his penis is fake, and that he and Lainey are gay married. Next, he explained why he got the sex change.
The reason I actually became a man in the first place is because I was so humiliated when I got an abortion. I had a completely consensual relationship with a man when I was about 12. I was just about to turn 13. And for some reason, my mom didn't educate me on the wrongs of sleeping with family members.
He proceeded to accuse his father of being a predator. Again.
My mom named me Sharon, and I was raised in a very healthy, functional home. I mean, outside what I've said about my dad, which is all true.
He continued the video by saying he cared deeply about women because...
So, to everybody who's been wondering, why I make so many videos about women, why I'm pro-choice, why I'm fighting so hard to give women a foothold in this world, it's because I am one.
Onision concluded the video by fake crying.
Because I never stopped being it. I never stopped being Sharon.
Then laughing at his own joke. On the 13th, Onision hosted a live stream called A Civil Debate with Onision as a direct response to the controversy with the snail mail stalker. I'm gonna cut this year into 2 parts here. I did intend to go year by year, but 2013 has the issue of having Onision participating in multiple livestream debates in defense of himself to own the haters. In the next part, we will go over debates and conclude the year. The theme will continue of Onision retaliating to the slightest criticism and Onision playing victim. But with the greasy banana himself continuously going on live streams, my detail game and my clipping game was real strong, but my ability to go into extreme detail in a timely manner cannot be done. But this is where we leave Onion Boy. People still dislike him. He's still making page after page to detract criticism, and now he will go out to debate directly with his criticizers. I'd like to thank my patrons for supporting my content. Here is them right here. I especially want to thank my $20 patrons. You guys rock. I'll draw up that farm drawing for you that I promised on my Patreon for the next part or the video after that. I'm one person. Also, I have started Teespring, as I mentioned before, and if you don't want to support me on Patreon, Patreon, please consider checking out some of my designs. Any support is greatly appreciated. These videos take a lot of time, and I write, research, and edit them all by myself. So please consider supporting the series. Also, please subscribe if you like in-depth lolcow lore videos, and please consider following me on Twitter at @NotCecilMcFly. Remember, my name is pronounced Cecil, not Cecil. I'll see you in the next one. Suffer lightly.